Hi everyone, just a quick video to talk about our next block of training. Hopefully you've managed to get through the first 4 weeks of the last training block. The lead-in block can be quite tricky sometimes because you guys are all new to the system. You've got terminology to sort out, you've got benchmark tests to do, and hopefully you've managed to complete as much of it as you can and you're ready for the next block of training. So the purpose of this video is to go through the next block, just to give a bit of an overview about what's in there and maybe answer a few questions you may have when you actually get to look at it yourself. So first of all, let me just drop across onto my screen so you can see. Oh, I've got the wrong thing on there. Let's bring that up. Here we go. So this is the next block of training. Now, first of all, on the screen there on Monday, you have a couple of links to some videos, how to enter your training peaks, your training zones into training peaks, and also how to work out your training zones based on your benchmark results. All right, so there'll be a couple of videos in there. Make sure you watch those because that will tell you how to take your test results, put them into our calculator, and then take those calculations, put them in training peaks. It sounds complicated, but it's really not. Put them in training peaks. And then training peaks will really accurately track your training. All right, so and yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. So I'm just going to pop into Monday and just show you what's happening on Monday. If you look across the weeks, the format stays pretty similar. So I think I'll only really kind of go through week 1 and week 4 because week 1, 2, and 3 are similar in terms of the same things happening on the same days. There's a little bit of progression between some of the weeks, but there's not a huge amount of change between week to week, if that makes sense. Sometimes the intervals get a little bit longer, the rest will get a little bit shorter, that kind of thing. So, okay, so Monday, first of all, let's have a look at Monday. We've got speed endurance run, and because we've now got some training zones programmed in, as you can see, if you just mouse over these little zones, you can see these little kind of blocks here. You can see it's actually given you a pace to run at now. Now, this is based on, this is a test account. This is based on the threshold and the test results that I've programmed into the test account. So don't take too much notice of these specific speeds. But again, it will give you an idea about roughly how fast you should be running. Some of you will be finding these really, really slow. Some of them will be finding them really, really fast. It's always the case when people start getting new into the training program and getting used to training with zones. So just kind of go with it for the time being. If you really think they're way out, then drop us a message and we'll have a look at it for you. But we're starting to get really dialed in now because the first block was all based on feel. All right, so this is simply a couple of kind of ramp up blocks. So the pace will get steadily faster with each 2-minute effort. So you've got a warm up, you then got 4 2-minute efforts, you've then got a recovery period in the middle there for 5 minutes, and then you've got another ramp up, and then you've got a cool down for 5 minutes at the end there. 30 minutes, speed endurance. So speed endurance is about holding a steady, solid, fairly challenging pace, particularly at the top end of this ramp. All right, nice and straightforward, 30 minutes. Okay, next one, well, we've got a speed and power session in here for the swimming, and as you can see, it's the same things in on Tuesday. Now, I think I've mentioned to you in previous videos that we do drop 6 swim sessions in a week. Just do what you can. I suggest you try and do between 2 and 4 swims each week. If you can't do that, then try and do 3 one week, 1 the next. You know, try and get as many in as you can because swimming is a volume-based sport, and the more you swim, the more progress you're going to make. All right, but we have a speed and power session today, Monday, and a speed and power session for Tuesday. They're both the same one because they follow the squad program. We do the same thing on Monday and Tuesday because some people swim on a Monday, some people swim on a Tuesday, and then similarly on Thursday and Friday. So pick and choose which ones you can do and delete the others. We're not asking you to swim 6 times a week. Please don't swim 6 times a week. All right, so let's dip into there, speed and power. If you come to the squad sessions, then obviously you'll be taken through this session. All right, we sometimes adjust it live on the actual squad sessions themselves, but you'll be doing the same as what the rest of the swim squad are doing on any given day. All right, so as you can see there, we've got some sculling, some doggy paddle drills, some torpedo push-offs, and then we've got some speedy stuff, some 50 easy, 50 mad. Mad means as fast as you can go, but staying in control. Okay, so and then we've got 10 50s, going easy down the pool and mad on the way back. Then we're doing 20 25s. We're just going all mad on all of those, and then we've got 20 25s where we're going half a length easy, half a length mad. All right, so the rests are there in brackets. If it doesn't have a rest period, then just take as much as you need to feel that, so that you feel you're able to complete the next interval in the best possible condition, the best possible form. If you're not sure about the drills, then drop us a video. We'll be posting some links to these videos anyway. If you haven't seen those, then drop us a message and we'll go through those drills. Just a quick point on drills. If you're not sure what a drill is, then don't kind of make it up, all right? Only really do the drill if you feel that you're confident that you're doing the drill correctly, because drills are all about changing movement patterns and getting you used to doing a particular thing in the water. If you're doing it wrong, then effectively you can be drilling yourself or training yourself incorrect movement patterns, and it's a waste of time. There's no point doing that. All right, so only do the drills if you know what they are and you're happy you can do them properly. Similarly, some of you have come back to me saying that you can't swim for as long as it says in the sessions. Then simply swim for as long as you have time for, okay? So also, if you're doing intervals and you feel like you're not getting enough rest and you're getting more and more sloppy, then take a bit more rest. These are just guidelines, okay? The most important thing is that you swim as much quality lengths as you can. All right, so hopefully that makes sense. So that was that. So that's Monday. Tuesday, we have, again, there's that speed and power session. So if you want to delete that, you can just go into it and delete it. Then we have a bike session on Tuesdays. It's a key session. You notice it's got key there, top left, or on the kind of top left of the actual session plan there. Key means it's one of the ones that you really need to try and do if you can. If it doesn't say key, then there's a bit more flexibility. If you need to miss something, then miss the sessions that don't say key on them. Try and do the key sessions because they're like the kind of the cornerstones of the week, if you like. Okay. So here we go. You can see just the shape of what you're going to be doing there. So you've got a little warm up, 4-minute warm up, and then we're going to be ramping up. They are 1-minute intervals, just going up a little bit. You can see the power readings on there, so try and follow that. And then we've got an easy recovery, so a couple of minutes spin to prepare for our main intervals. And then the main intervals are sweet spot, so they are zone 3, and they are going to be 162. We've got 162. I'm looking at the wrong one. I'm just looking at my zones on here to make sure that we've got that correct. Power 162. Yeah, okay, so that's fine. So sweet spot. So sweet spot is kind of a solid challenging pace. Okay, it's not really hard, it's not really easy, it's kind of in the middle. It's a challenging, it's a speed kind of strength endurance type effort. Okay, hope that makes sense. All right, so you're gonna be doing that for 4 minutes, and then you are going to be riding easy for 3 minutes. Now, as you can see there, it's got RPE effort in there. All right, so rate of perceived exertion. If you don't have a power meter, then just go on feel. So 7 to 8 out of 10, it should feel like, if that makes sense. With 0 being lying in bed and 10 being absolutely eyeballs out, 7 to 8 effort. So it's towards the top end of the effort scale, but certainly not 9 or 10 max effort, if that makes sense. All right, so if you don't have heart rate, if you don't have power, then look at heart rate, train on heart rate zones. All right, so again, you can actually change this to based on heart rate instead. So percentage of maximum heart rate or percentage of threshold heart rate. So we can pop that in instead. And as you can see, if we save and close that, go back into it, it's now changed to heart rate instead. Okay, so you can make those adjustments. So that's that. So you've got 3 times, how long those? 4-minute intervals with 3 minutes easy in between. And then we've got a cool down for 10 minutes at the end, 40 minutes straightforward. Now these bike sessions, if you have it connected to your Garmin, will feed their way through onto your Garmin watch and bike computer. If that's not working, you're not sure how to connect it up, then give us a shout. And also if you use Zwift, if you connected your Training Peaks account with Zwift, if you go into the menu, I'll do a separate video, I think there might already be a separate video on this. We'll go into the menu, on the Zwift menu, the workout menu, and there will be a Training Peaks folder. Click on that, and this workout will be in there. And you can set your turbo, sit on the turbo, press that workout, and it'll take you through it on the screen. Absolutely brilliant. So that will be in there for you already. All right, so that's Tuesday. Wednesday, we've got an endurance run, pretty straightforward. As you can see there, 40 minutes, RPE 6. What's he got for the pace on this one? Rate of perceived exertion. So let's change this to threshold pace. Save and close that. I'm going to go back in, see what it says. There we go. 40 minutes at 9:56 based on what's been set in for this threshold and this test account. All right, so steady effort all the way through. Endurance runs should be conversational pace. Shouldn't be too hard. Just steady. It's all about volume. Endurance running. Okay, so that's that. We've then got a swim session, a CSS session on Wednesday. It's got some drills in the start there, kicking on the side to work on your alignment. Torpedo push-offs to work on your streamlining and a bit of a kick focus. And again, if you're not sure about these, then we'll put some videos out so you can have a look at those. Best thing is come to Swim Squad and we'll go through it with you. And then the mains part of the session here, we got 400 meters and then, 400 meters as 200 on the beep. So we'll have a beeper setting and then we're going to be having, you're going to be swimming 2 seconds ahead of the beep for the second 200, if that makes sense. So 200 on the beep, second 200 swimming, so you're 2 seconds ahead of the beep by the end. All right, and then 400, 2 seconds on the beep, 200 meters on the beep, and then 4 seconds ahead by the end, and so on and so forth. So that's that. That's pretty straightforward. Your what's this based on threshold pace? Your threshold pace is 2:01. So I think that's what we worked out, wasn't it? 2:01. No, 2:07. Sorry, 2:07 is your threshold pace. That's what's been programmed in. And you will have to work out your training paces. So 2:07, divide it up to by 4 for 25 meters. So what's that? It's going to be 32.25 would go into the beeper. That would be swimming at threshold pace. All right, but this is CSS plus 2. I'm not explaining this very well, am I? CSS plus 2, so that would be 209 per 100. 209 per 100. All right, that would be set to divide that by 4, and that would be the pace that you need to hold for this interval. Really didn't explain that very well, so I do apologize for that. So yeah, add 2 seconds onto your CSS pace, divide that up by 4 for a 25 meter pool, divided by 3 for a 33 1/3 meter pool, and then that's the pace you need to swim at for the first 200 of the 400, and then by the end, the second 200, you swim ahead. I hope you understood that. Anyway, best thing is come to Swim Squad, so we'll take you through the whole thing. Bike hill reps on Thursday, as you can see there. We're going to do a 10-minute warm-up, then we're going to do 3 times 1 minute build. So you're taking up the effort level there. You are then doing 2 minutes easy, and then we've got 15 minutes RPE 3. So let's change that. Actually, that needs to be on power. Okay, there we go. You can see it there. So that's changed to power. If it's giving you RPE, go in and change it to percentage of functional threshold power. I'm not sure why that wasn't set right there. So as you can see, it says hills, stay seated, 15 minutes at 89% of FTP. So 89% of FTP is, where is it? 169 watts for this particular example, 169 watts, okay? So what you're doing is, this is the hills, so you are riding up and down the hills, and you're going to be doing that for 15 minutes continuously, all right? So a few minutes up, recover back down again, a few minutes up, recover back down again, try and keep the pace, try and keep the cadence around about 65 to 75 and stay seated. This is about strength and pushing down on those pedals, okay? So hold the power, make sure you're pushing hard. If the power doesn't seem quite right, you're not quite sure what to do, just make sure that you're pushing hard and you're keeping the cadence at around about the right zone, the right level. So 65 to 75% cadence, that's the rate your legs turn over. All right, so that's 15 minutes, and then 10-minute easy. And that's it. That's that done. Finally, we've got on that particular day, we've got a CSS session. So it's an endurance session, CSS challenge, I should say, 400 and 200. And this is an RM8 timing set. So if you're not sure about that, then we've done a video on RM timing. It was last week, the last block. You should have seen that. If you haven't, then I'll put the link to the video down below as well. So RM8 means you're swimming ahead of the beep. All right, so you need to work out what RM8 is based on your threshold pace. So RM8, just to give you an idea, is to work out the timings, is the same timing as CSS plus 16. So you add 16 on top of your CSS pace. So in this example, it's 207 plus 16. What's that? 207 plus 16, 223. Again, 223 divided by 4 for 25-meter pool. And then you will have your beeper setting. So it will be beeping per length. If you haven't got a beeper, you've just got to do the best you can and try and work out the pacings, keep an eye on the clock or time it on your watch. All right, but I suggest you get a tempo trainer, Finis tempo trainer. Again, this was in the previous videos about the kit that you need ideally. All right, so RM8, RM timing means you swim ahead of the beep. However far ahead of the beep you are by the end of the interval, that's how much rest you get. You then set off on the next interval when the beeper catches up, and you set off on the next beep, if that makes sense. And then we got 400 and 200 RM7, so you change the beeper down, then RM6, change the beeper down again, RM5, change the beeper down again, and then finally, if you get this far, then you do a 400 at CSS plus 2. All right, so again, work out on this example, 207 plus 2, so 209 divided by 4 for 25-meter pool. That will give you your beeper setting. That's the endurance session on Thursday. Friday is a regeneration day unless you happen to swim on Friday. Saturday you have track intervals. If you can't get to a track, just find a nice piece of flat road, maybe some lampposts that you can run between, that kind of thing, and try and simulate being on a track. So this is a speed interval session, so working on your top end speed. As you can see in the notes there, you want to be working at your goal 5K pace. Goal 5K pace. If you're not sure what your goal 5K pace is, then take 30 to 60 seconds off your last 5K. So in this example, we used 25 minutes. All right, so work out what your pace is for, so you take a minute off, take a minute off, 25 minutes, work out what your pace per minute would be for 24 minute 5K. Which should be around about 8-minute mile, wouldn't it? Thereabouts. So that would be your goal pace for the intervals. So we're doing 10 minutes easy jog, and then we're doing some 3 times through, 30 seconds hard, so 30 seconds fast, 30 seconds easy. And then we've got our intervals. And here we go. The system is actually calculated here, 3 to 5K pace. You'll be doing 0.12 miles, which is 200. They're 200s. So not very far at all, at between 7:16 pace and 7:36 pace for this particular example. So fairly quick, all right? And then a static recovery. So you are stopping on your recovery. If you want to walk during your static recovery and just keep the intensity right down, that's fine. Just please don't work too hard during those recoveries. All right, how many of those we've got? 8 of those, 8 200s with a 30-second recovery. And then we've got 5-minute cool down at the end there, nice and straightforward. All right, so that's that. We've got a speed and power session on Saturday, so lots and lots of pull and paddles. What have we got? So 200 warm up, 2 times 100 easy, and then 2 times 100 build. If it says build is starting off nice and easy, and then getting faster and faster and faster as you go through the interval, whatever it is. So this one says 2 times 100. So you do 2 100s where you get faster and faster and faster for the first 100, then you again start slow and then get faster and faster and faster for the second 100. Okay, 10 seconds rest in between. And then the main part of the session, 8 25s, 7 25s, 6 25s, 5 25s, all the way down to 125, and then you go through it again. Alternate ones are pull buoys and paddles, and then the ones in between are pull only. But again, the best thing to do is to print these out and put it on the pool with you so you can try and remember what you're doing. All right. The rests, it's got last in, first out. That really kind of applies to a squad session when there's lots of you swimming. If it's just you by yourself, take 20 to 30 seconds rest between each one. All right. There's a lot of intervals there, but they are fast and they are pull buoys and paddles, so take plenty of rest, please. Finally, the endurance ride, an hour and a half, 90 minutes. What have we got? We've got RPE 6. So let's change that to power. And what have we got now? 160 watts. Okay, again, based on this example, an hour and a half, 160 watts or thereabouts. Or we'll say, if you're riding outside, clearly you're going to have hills, you're going to have junctions, you're going to be the power's going to be up and down. Try and average around about 160 and keep it nice and steady. Sorry, 160 or whatever your average is. This is obviously the example we use in the video. All right, nice and steady. The main point is that you don't get absolutely mad, try and pull your own legs off or someone else's legs off. You just keep nice and steady. All right, that's what endurance rides are all about at this particular moment in time anyway. All right, so that's that. That's week 1. Week 2 is very similar. Week 3 is very similar, just with a bit of progression in each of these sessions. And then week 4 is a regeneration week. So things are dialed back a little bit. I won't go through these in detail because it doesn't really matter that much. So what we've got on the Monday, we've got a recovery run. Tuesday, we've got a strength endurance session, but it's reduced. Wednesday, we've got an endurance run, but it's 40 minutes. So if you look at the week before, it's 45. So everything gets dialed back a little bit for the regeneration week. Thursday, you don't have a hill reps. You just have a simple ride, nice, easy ride. Friday, rest day or swim. You can swim on that day. And then Saturday, do a 5K park run. All right, we're suggesting you go out and have a bit of fun, do a park run, just challenge yourself, see what you can do. And then the endurance ride is an hour and a half, whereas the week before was an hour and 50 minutes. So again, things dial back for this particular week. So this week should feel easier than the week you did before, if that makes sense, because we're dialing everything back a little bit. That's this block, nice and straightforward. Again, you've got loads of swims in there. I won't go through those in details because you can pop in those and have a look at those on your training program yourself. But apart from that, that's it, 4 weeks. All right, so if you've got any questions, give us a shout on the WhatsApp group or put some comments down below, and that should be that. All right, so hope you're having fun out there. If you've got any questions, so get in touch and we shall give you all the help you need. All right, apart from that, I shall catch up with you next time and take care. Bye-bye.